someone else. The situation is bleeding me. There ain't no release for a person like me. Cause depression got a hold of me. Depression, I wanna break free. Depression got a hold of me. Depression gonna kill me.
Thanks for coming today. I'm here with my buddy Des Cadena, lately of Misfits, but better known as a member of the one of the first wave of LA hardcore bands, Black Flag. A guy who had him and the band, not just him individually, but I really identified with the whole Black Flag ethic when it came to stripped down rock and roll, not just in the sound, but in the whole approach. But the thing about Black Flag that I liked was they literally looked like the guys from my neighborhood. T-shirts, blue jeans, tennis shoes, sneakers, or old boots, and they didn't have crazy mohawks or anything. They were just very identifiable, and they went there to kick ass. I saw Black Flag live in person, and it was like a fucking machine. And that was with the Des Cadena lineup and Greg Ginn and that infamous first lineup. And they really were a machine, and they literally, nobody, speaking for myself and my peers, even though we had been into aggressive music, I was always into Black Sabbath and a lot of the heavier music. Motorhead, I was a huge Motorhead guy. My idea of punk wasn't what Black Flag delivered. To see it live was really something to behold. And literally, I say this about Black Flag, Minor Threat, and the Bad Brains. Wherever they left, something popped up. The same way wherever they went, people said, wow, we could do that. They look like us. And that was a very important thing. And then the more you tap into it, the more you realize they're just going balls out, shoestring budget, and and lyrically and sonically and personally, it was a really important band. Although I don't, go to a lot of punk rock shows or hardcore shows anymore, the things that were instilled in me from getting into this type of lifestyle, I still carry to this day in the way I approach life and the way I approach things, and I guess that you're born that way, but it kind of takes either a band or a movie or a book for that light to go off. Where when you're a child, you might feel disillusioned and you know that you're a little bit different than anybody, but you can't pinpoint why. And then something will come along where you'll say, aha, I'm not here on this island. There's people like me. And now from getting to know Des over the years, he's just a sweet guy, and his story is really unique in that he was bi-coastal. He was born on the East Coast and comes from a musical background. And then obviously he was in the right place at the right time for the whole Black Flag thing. From the beginning he was there. Even when he was the singer, he was in with the original band when they were Panic and all that. And he's very modest about the whole thing, which I'm always happy when I find people that I looked up to or I admired, that they have a dose of modesty, and that's when it really resonates with you. And I'm really happy he's here today.
Good band. I was going to buy it, but I got all of it.
All alone, there ain't no girls that want to touch me, and I don't need your motherfucking sympathy. Pressure got a hold of me. Pressure, I wanna break free. Pressure,
hey, anybody needs photos signed, let me know.
Gonna kill me. Everybody, just get away. I'm gonna boil over inside the day. They told me, son, someday things gonna get better. All I know is goddamn right, they fucking better. Depression got a hold of me. Depression, I wanna break free. Depression got a hold of me. Depression.
One of my favorite records is called Church of Hawkwind. When I first heard that record, I go, are these space aliens? I asked my brother. I was like 10.
Inside the day, they told me, son, someday things gonna get better. All I know is goddamn right, they fucking better. Depression got a hold of me. Depression, I wanna break free. Depression got a hold of me. Depression gonna kill me.
First punk rock show
Yeah, I keep telling Jared now. I don't know.
Was a band called,
You gotta play here, man.
even though I'd heard singles of all these bands, was a band called The Last.
Yeah. From your area, right?
From Hermosa, Joe Nolte. Yeah. And then shortly after that, it was kind of like I got introduced to the guys from Black Flag. Around that same time, I went to see The Damned and Television at the Whiskey A Go-Go. I was like 16 and I saw like Johnny Thunders played 2 shows at the Whiskey, and the first show was the most amazing show. I guess they got their drugs during the intermission because he fell over and knocked like his Fender Twin and the Marshall cabinet over. He lasted about 3 songs and I was like in shock. I was like 16 or 17 and I was like,
Got a hold of me, aggressor. I wanna break free, aggressor. Got a hold of me, aggressor. Gonna kill me.
I kind of like this, if I don't say so myself.